I don't need no sleep today. I've been grinding for the niggas who can't eat today. Yeah, right now I don't see the way, but when they let me in this bitch, I'ma lead the way. And I ain't asking niggas, can they make room? I'ma take that. Been waiting for the right moment to pop out, I need payback. Little nigga bugging, I ain't chillin' with no hate at. I hop on the beat and grill it, shit, I might as well fillet that. Got a short temper like Ike, so just keep that shit polite. For disaster, call on FEMA, got her running like she Tina. My nigga patience on recliner, so he gotta keep a llama. Like the summer in Miami, bitch, we pop out like iguanas. Man, these hoes come with drama, and these niggas come with problems. I ain't in the tape to school, so don't expect for me to solve them. I was never scared of change, I'm upgraded and evolving. And I ain't reached my limit yet, a few more hits and then we ballin'. Niggas don't wanna pop outside, they been scary and they stallin'. Put my money in this shit, no backing down, you know I'm allin'. I ain't moving, I ain't stretching, I just focus on my calling. She say, baby, you a blessing, I say, who the hell you saucin'? And today I'm bumping Kodak, you know I'm so fucking awesome.
What's up, guys? Your boys are back. I'm Ryan, my man George.
What's up, guys? How you living out there? Shout out to the free thinkers, of course. Shout out to everybody that's been following us on Def to Radio, our Instagram, and deftoradio.com, our website. Make sure y'all follow us on both. It's a great way to sort of support the channel and to get on our radar as far as requests are concerned. The information for both will be in the description below.
And as always, guys, make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Make sure it's set to all so you get all our videos as they drop. Up-and-coming artists, man. You know what to do. Click the link in the description. We'll do about 60 seconds of your song in front of one of our up-and-coming videos. Get you some exposure, baby. So if you are interested in that, make sure you check that out, man. So getting to another Drake song, man. Away from home from this For All the Dogs project, man. We did 8 a.m. in Charlotte. Check that out. First person shooter. Check that out. We got another one that we haven't dropped yet that we did. I don't know if we gonna say it. So just be on the lookout for that. And then Away from Home, man. This is the next one that we're doing on it, man. And it's kind of hard to stay away from the album, though, to be honest with you. So.
It is everywhere.
Yeah.
It is like everybody is talking about this album. In full disclosure, I have skimmed through this album. I've skimmed through it, even this song. I have heard this song, but I haven't heard the song, if that makes any sense to you. Like, I skimmed through the album. I was driving, and kind of it came on, and I wasn't paying attention to it. So that's kind of, this won't be a pure reaction, but that's where I'm at, full disclosure. So we can put review in the motherfucking title if y'all want, if it'll make y'all more comfortable, but this is a semi-reaction. Let's get into it. Drake, Away from Home.
Hey, what? Is it real? Yeah. Hey. Give a fuck if they remember. I was in the cold when those froze. I was sleeping in the whip, trying to get a fucking grip. I remember. Didn't have no hoes, trying to go. All these rappers, little bro, me. Fuck them, I remember. Way before they had a fucking DM, I was whipping in the act like that shit was European. I remember. I remember driving Holland Tunnel for a label meeting. Think about more cake than a funnel. I remember. Now these niggas don't remember. I know Niche remember. I know Jay remember. Chosen make them boys remember. Damn, broke, splitting pennies.
Let's talk. All right, let's talk. Okay, I remember this song like somewhat. I remember this song. Again, this is what the last song of the album. Yeah, by that time I was definitely checked out. Or no, it's number 22. Like yeah, as I was skimming through the album, I'm like, yeah, dude, the songs all started to blend in at a certain point. I think the beat is okay. Sad Pony. I think Sad Pony did Search and Rescue, which I thought was okay as well. No disrespect to Sad Pony. I think the beat is okay, but I think what Drake does, he is gifted with understanding rhythm, cadence, and melody. He can make even something that's just whatever. The way he approached this, like, you know, I remember I remember sleeping in the cold, fucking something nose, whatever he said. Windows it was froze. I remember. That's just catchy as hell.
Yes, it is.
That is a nasty ass catchy cadence that, alone by itself, when we're talking about just being catching the listener's attention, that cadence alone is going to keep you somewhat engaged in the song, even if you don't like the beat, which is crazy because for a lot of people, the beat is what grabs them first. Yeah, But the beat was like, it's okay. But the way he approached it, I'm like, it got me into the cadence is the rhythm to me. The cadence is what created the rhythm.
I don't have much to add to that. It's hot to me. Let's keep it rolling.
Let's get back to it.
Whipping in the act like that shit was European. I remember driving Holland Tunnel for a label meeting. Think about more cake than a funnel. I remember. Now these niggas don't remember. I know Niche remember. I know Jay remember. Chosen make them boys remember. Dead broke, splitting pennies with my members. Fuck a spread, we was splitting chicken tenders. Remember, I was sleeping in the basement, watching Tigger in the basement. I was trying to get a placement. I remember days in the east with the bros, watching Tristan and DeVoe while they running up the skull. I remember TT was headed to the league. I was sleeping up at Metalworks, trying to plant a seed. I remember rolling through the city, getting beats. Always peeping out the streets, cause I was beefing with the bleaks. I remember I was trying to get a portion, trying to make a fortune. B-time with Candy, I'm trying to be a boyfriend. 3 a.m. at Y2, running off endorphins. Started out in all my brothers' beefs like an orphan. I was still on roads when it's pouring and storming, and shit is not rewarding. I do not feel important. I wanna see some scratch from the shit that I'm recording. In Memphis smoking blacks, trying to act like I enjoy it. I'm a Reese Francois, I'm sporting. And Most Def gave me like a rat for performing. Crib I got now made me think of when I had to put some money on the mortgage. This don't feel like home anymore.
Yeah, it's not bad, dude.
But it's not supposed to be. It's not supposed to be hot though.
It's just.
It's not supposed to be. When I hear this beat, I'm just like, it's not supposed to be like. If I was in the studio and they were playing beats and shit like that, this would be a beat that I'd be like, man, skip that shit, bro. But Drake makes shit hot.
He does, man.
Even the melody that we just
that he was just about to get into.
Yeah.
Sounds good, man. And I love that the first verse kind of seems like he's kind of reminiscing on the grind. Yep. You know what I mean? I remember when it wasn't always like this. You know what I'm saying? And I know, and I feel like this is made in because he always is talking that big boy talking about I got the plane, I got the this, I got the that, especially with all the shit with him and him going that Joe Button and shit like that. You know, I got a plane, I got a 767 and all, you know. So I feel like this is the perfect song to say, it's not like I got this shit handed to me. It's not like I didn't put forth the work and make this shit happen. It's not like if you, insert rapper here, had the same cards I was dealt, you would turn it into what I turned it into. You know what I mean? It's because of me and what I'm doing. I'm doing something that's unprecedented. Right. I don't know if we're going to see a run like this anytime soon. You know, I remember all these times. I was just trying to get put on. I was watching fucking 106 in Park, trying to like just get on and you know, and just doing whatever I could just to fucking make an opportunity myself. Like, what did he say? Something about, I want to see some scratch for some shit that I'm recording. You know what I mean? I remember. So, obviously it's the play on words with him scratching a record and shit like that, but scratch is in money too, right? You know, I want to make something for the shit that I'm actually doing. You know what I mean? And he has killed that goal. I remember when I was sleeping in the basement watching Tigger in the basement while I was trying to get a placement on the show. You know what I'm saying? Y'all remember that shit, right? The basement, you know.
Big Tigger, shout out to Big Tigger.
Yeah, man, you know. But what I love about that is it tells you that Drake had, you know, he's a student of the game, number one. But number two, you know, he you know, it wasn't always given to him, man. You know, you had to.
This is the come up.
Yeah, dude. For all of y'all to say that you get all upset about Drake for all the braggadocious talk, which I love, by the way. It's just motivation, baby. Get your life together. You know what I'm saying? I'm speaking to myself, too. Get your life together. You know, that's what Drake does to me. I watch and listen to a Drake song every morning to show myself that I'm not doing shit with my life. So that way I can get my shit together. You know what I'm saying?
It's either going to drive you to depression or it's going to inspire you, right?
The shit that I'm recording in Memphis smoking blacks, trying to act like I enjoy it. I'm a Reese Francois, bowl what I'm sporting. And Most Def gave me like a rat for performing. Crib I got now made me think of when I had to put some money on the mortgage. This don't feel like home anymore. It's just walls, doors, and floors that only I can afford. Remember when it used to mean more. I got money in the top drawer. It ain't much, but we not poor. You're mine and I'm yours. Like a broke couple, we on one accord for sure. I remember pulling up at Top, seeing Quincy Jones, nigga talking to me like he proud. I remember Mike Designer out and he sued the fucking guys and he ducking until now. I remember Reese staying at the house, then she left me for my dog like she never took the vow. I remember my cousin Ryan fronted me a pound and I couldn't even flip it, had to bring it back around. I remember printing up our t-shirts with Kyle. We in love with the same girl, beefing like a cow. I would pick them shits up, nigga wouldn't even smile. Nigga better crack a smile before we do a nigga foul. Keep it real, I wasn't really gangster till now. I was living on a cloud, I was quiet quiet as a mouse. I was in a club getting lost in the crowd. Wasn't doing what I wanted to, I do what was allowed. I remember fighting over Monica with Jason. I remember only knowing Andre and Jason. I remember buying all the iceberg from Jason. That's 3 different Jasons, my life like the Matrix. Even got on 106 and part with replacement. My mama was my manager, my uncle was my agent. Dr. Dre sent a nigga home, that took patience. 4 Grammys to my name, 100 nominations. Esperanza sparred and was getting all the praises. I'm trying to keep it humble, I'm trying to keep it gracious. Who give a fuck, Michelle Obama put you on a playlist. When we never hear from you again like you was taken. Who the CEO of Universal, they mistaken. Cause Google saying Lucian, but that just doesn't make sense. Who filling up the piggy bank, who bringing home the bacon. This shit don't come on vinyl, I'm still record breaking. How could I forget, how could I forget? I was on a Greyhound way before the jet. Buffalo, New York was like the furthest I could get. At the Walton Galleria, trying to make the money stretch. Student price card and a Yorkdale Connect. Whole time Courtney Smith was keeping me in check. Try and find an inch of the city I ain't stepped in. If it's war, I lay my life down for the set then.
Yep.
Yeah. And I put that shit on Maz and that nigga was my best friend. Yeah. And I put that shit on Johnny Bling, that nigga was my best friend. Right. And I put that shit on Richard, that nigga was my best friend. Hey. Yeah. Broke his right hand, still took a fight with his left hand. I remember.
That was cool, man. I like that, man. It's almost like this song is a reflection back to kind of bring him down to earth. Like, wait a minute, though. But I remember when it wasn't all like this. As you're making these, eclipsing these big numbers financially and success-wise and stuff like that, I feel like your life just comes at you in such a grand scale. It's just so magnified that maybe you don't even have time to realize the journey. But I need to always kind of maybe ground myself, because that's kind of what I feel like he's saying. Like, dude, I remember when it wasn't always like this.
I remember when it used to mean more. I remember when life had more meaning. Those hard times when we were broke, we got money in the top drawer, but that ain't much, but we not poor. I remember those times where life meant something to me. When I had my friends, some of the best times of my life was when I was on the come up in the grind and things meant something to me. I feel like he just feels isolated. I feel like he's just like, yeah, I got all this money, but only I can afford it. It's only me in this big ass mansion. I think he feels lonely sometimes. When he says like a broke couple, we on one accord, this is before the thoughts, man. This is before the groupies became, the leeches came into his life trying to get him for everything, and trying to, run game on him and line him up and all this shit. This is like when I had my girl, you know what I'm saying? I had a real relationship with someone who loved me for me. We were on one accord, like Honda Accord, like Ryan said, but we were locked in, and I knew that this person was there for me before that bullshit. I remember that, and I miss it. But I like the way he started it. I was in the cold, windows froze. I was sleeping in the whip trying to get a fucking grip. I remember. There's a picture being painted in that. I was in the cold, windows froze. I was sleeping in the whip trying to get a fucking grip. When someone says get a fucking grip, I'm trying to get a grip on my situation. Yeah. I'm trying to deal with the fact that I'm sleeping in a fucking whip, and I'm homeless currently at this time, right? Didn't have no hoes. All these rappers low broke me. Fuck them. I remember. You know what I'm saying? I remember the struggle, but I'm never gonna forget.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I remember.
Oh, I was corny dude, right? What did Michael P. Jordan say?
Yeah.
The corny dude, right?
yeah. When that chick that he went to high school with tried to catch him on the red carpet. Yeah, the corny guy, right? Yeah. And now you interviewing me.
Yeah, she's like, no, we didn't say that. No, remember you saying that?
Yeah, even if your girl said it, so what? So what? You was laughing and keying with her and shit when she said it now. You know? Kiki. Yeah. Way before they had a fucking DM, I was whipping in the AC like the shit was European. I remember the Acura. Mm-hmm. I was whipping in the Act like the shit was European. I remember. Yep. You know what I mean? Way before DM, way before Instagrams and DMs existed. Dead broke, splitting pennies with my members. Fuck a spread. We was splitting chicken tenders. Fuck a spread, right? When you think of Drake now, you think of Drake taking his, talking about these big boy dinners, right?
Thanksgiving dinner every night.
Every night, renting out restaurants and shit, Lauryn Hill on the speakers and these big spreads, right? That's what you're thinking. Him and his family, toasting to the good times, right? But I remember when we was splitting chicken tenders. I like this line because it takes me back to a time where people tried to fake act like Black and Miles. They was cool smoking Black and Miles, and I was like, not me. I always looked at dudes like they was crazy smoking a Black and Mild. But when he said, in Memphis smoking blacks trying to act like I enjoyed them. You know what I'm saying? I could picture Drake You know, this
Yep.
Canadian kid trying to blend in with them country ass motherfucking hood dudes in Memphis, trying to smoke a black and mild, looking awkward and shit, trying to fit in. I like that though, but it's real. I love when he said, to keep it real, I wasn't really gangster till now. I was living on a cloud. I was quiet as a mouse. I was in a club getting lost in the crowd. Wasn't doing what I wanted to. I do what was allowed. I was doing what was allowed of me. You know what I'm saying? I thought he said so much in that section right there. Why would Drake say, to keep it real, I wasn't gangster till now. I was living in a cloud. I was quiet as a mouse. Like, I was a good kid. That's how I'm taking it. Like, I was a good guy, man. I wasn't with the bullshit, you know? I was a good guy, just a good, a talented dude that's just trying to make it in hip hop, man. I'm not on no street shit, not on no gangster shit, but somehow y'all made me the villain. Remember he said that?
Yeah, they turned me.
They turned me into a villain. He didn't start getting on some other shit, right? Until, you know, it's like the good guy gone bad. It's like the good guy that's been, the innocence was lost for Drake once he got into the game. And I think I admire the fact that he's willing to say that. Dude, I'm gonna keep it real, man. I was getting lost in the crowd. I wasn't the guy. I was getting no hoes. I was getting overlooked. It takes a lot to admit that, especially when you're someone in his position. Not to say that he hasn't said stuff like that before.
Who's the CEO of Universal? They mistaken because Google says Lucian. But that don't make no sense because who's filling up the piggy bank? Who's bringing home the bacon? You know what I'm saying? This shit don't come on vinyl, and I'm still record breaking. That was still, right? So what he's saying is he's really the CEO. That's what he's saying. He's like, I'm fucking filling up the piggy bank. I'm the one that they like, yeah, this motherfucker. Without Drake, we might go bankrupt out of this motherfucker, which is probably not true. But a big fucking, a big part of everybody's paycheck is linked to Drake's success. Michelle Obama put you on her playlist. And then we never hear from you again like you was taken? Michelle Obama loves you, but that's about it, right?
Yeah,
you fade into the abyss of nothingness. Right. You know?
Like, but I'm the relevant one. You know what I'm saying? I'm the one that's really running this shit. I like that I'm discovering things about Drake at this stage of his career with this song. Now, maybe he said this in other songs. Maybe he said this in interviews, but I didn't know about the Mos Def thing. I didn't know that Dr. Dre, sent Drake home. Apparently, maybe Dr. Dre maybe Drake was working with Dr. Dre. He said he sent him home and it took patience or something like that. So we all know that Dr. Dre, he can record 1,000 songs and never put any of them motherfuckers out, you know? So I'm sure that was debilitating for Drake, right? Like thinking that, I'm with Dr. Dre and then... Yeah,
that should take a lot of patience with him.
And then heard nothing, right? I'm on and then... Nothing's ever being used, you know what I'm saying? So maybe he felt rejected there. I love this line too, though. My cousin Ryan fronted me a pound. I couldn't even flip it. Had to bring that shit around. I had to bring it back. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I remember. Mm-hmm. So we saying his
and you don't do that.
Yeah, because lucky it was his cousin. Though.
Yeah.
No, his cousin fronted him a pound of weed, basically. So his cousin gave him weed on consignment. And Drake couldn't sell the weed, so he had to bring that shit back to his cousin. You know what I'm saying? So, but again, this is him. This is the come up. I love the detail that we're getting from Drake. Like he's like, I'm a failed drug dealer. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Like I tried, but it didn't work out for me. So again, all of these things that we're getting introduced to from Drake, I just think is really, really dope, especially at this stage of his career. And I think it's just a welcome breath of fresh air to get a song like this. Not that Drake hasn't put out songs like this on every album. I know, but I think we're all clamoring for an album to get a little bit more of this consistently throughout the entire album of him just bearing his soul, being vulnerable, you know, maybe experimenting with concepts and just getting back to being that hungry lyricist, that vulnerable hungry lyricist that we all loved him for. Yeah. He gave us a lot of details about his life on the come up and just his emotions, his feelings during those times that I thought was actually really, really dope. Yeah. I just think the beat for me, I can understand people liking his beat because it does have a bounce to it, but the beat for me isn't quite all the way there, but I understand. But it's probably still gonna be a song that gets some play, if I'm being honest. It's making the song. Drake's approach, his content, and the way he said it. I remember. Is making me want to play it, not the beat. It seems like, based off of what I heard from the album, that this is like an oasis of content that I don't think that I remember hearing when I was skimming through the album. This seems like that exception, almost like the Jimmy Cook song off Honestly Nevermind. Yeah. Like, we did Honestly Nevermind, and he went a different direction with that album, dance, whatever the case may be. And then he had Jimmy Cooks, which I think was supposed to be on Her Loss. This feels like that for All the Dogs. Yeah. This feels like, this is kind of a departure for what type of time he was on. I got to listen to the album with more detail, admittedly. But let's hope that this is like a segue into an album that's pretty much all shit like this, in my opinion. But keep the beats hot. Still have your talk, your slick talk here and there. But for the most part, though, Let's have something to talk about. Let's have some content to really dig into. And then ain't nobody gonna be able to say shit.
Yeah, he does that. It's done, man.
Yeah.
The GOAT talk should be done. If he does that.
Well, I don't know about that, but yeah, he's definitely gonna be close in that conversation.
Yeah. Well, he's already close. Better not talk. Make it about the numbers is all I know.
Because it won't be about the numbers.
Yeah, I know.
It'll be about the content.
Exactly.
It'll be about now, like, it's not even some number shit. I'm just rapping well.
Amen.
And I just happen to then kill you with the numbers.
Yeah.
We said this before, man. We said that's the last, I think on what video did we say it? I was just like, that's the last little infinity stone for Drake, man.
Yeah.
Is he's given us albums with content, but I feel like really in a while, it's just been a little while since where I feel like he's buried his soul. If he gives us that joint, maybe a couple more of those to end it, and then just say his goodbye, it's gonna be hard to deny him when we have certain conversations, you know. So I'm hoping that the next album, I'm gonna get back to For All the Dogs. I'm gonna listen to the full thing in detail, and I'm gonna give it a full listen. But from what I can tell, I don't know. But I'm hoping the next album though is, you know, let's come on For All the Dogs. Now really though. Shout out to everybody that requested that one. I appreciate you guys bringing that to our attention. Like I said, I heard it, but it wasn't like in that. I wasn't really paying attention as much. So I'm happy that we did that one, man. It's making me want to revisit it actually again. So that's the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Make sure y'all check out Def to Radio. The information for DefToRadio.com is in the description below. Make sure you follow us there. I'm George. That's Ryan. Lost to Vegas.
We out.